Feeling overwhelmed by debt? Concerned about what the next few weeks or months will bring for your finances? My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. You don't have to navigate this alone. Together, we can review your options and build a personalized plan to reduce your payments and get you out of debt, so you can breathe again. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to book your free consultation and discover your debt-free future.
The Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440. Brought to you by Wilhuck Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
Just after 11 o'clock, good morning. It is The Frenzy here on Sports 1440, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and Twitch. Brought to you by Wilhuck Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky, online at wilhuckbeefjerky.com. Connor Halley, Brendan Douglas, Josh Fenwick with you here from the Sports 1440 studios in West Edmonton Mall. I'm looking at my my show tweet here today, Duke. I might have put in the wrong YouTube link. I might have put in the Gazzola show. So everyone who's trying to watch fantasy,
that's all right. We need the views.
I thought I clicked it. Maybe I clicked it wrong. I mean, hey,
it happens. I've done it many times.
It could be user error. The worst is when you're sending links for interviews, like when a guest is coming up and you put the yesterday's link. That'll happen. Anywho, I'm in the chat right now. Make sure if you are watching there, hit the like button. And we'll have some fun in there. Lots to get to on the program today. Of course, 3 rounds with Josh Fenwick. Some fun questions coming your way in case you missed it. This is something we just cooked up this week. It debuted on Monday where Josh throws us 3 questions. Essentially, we choose a side and we battle. Not all the time, because sometimes I think it'd be foolish if one of us took the side.
That's just because you're scared, Connor.
Well, you know, I'm not going to say that a combined no-hitter is as good as a single no-hitter, right? I'd be tough. I think I'd look foolish. It'd be like, oh, you're just throwing out hot takes now.
You're a take machine.
We're gonna stay educated on this program, but some fun debates and some good ones coming up for sure in about 3 minutes or so. Also today, we're going to continue our look around the NFL. We've got Catherine Fitzgerald covering the Buffalo Bills for the Buffalo News, going to join us at about 11:20, 11:25, right in between there. So we'll continue that. Of course, it is game day. The Edmonton Elks in action, taking on the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Kickoff 7 o'clock. If you are looking for a place to watch the game, might I recommend First Round Downtown? That's where I'll be. Come out, win some prizes potentially, have a good time, some great food and drinks. The crew down there, always fantastic, and we'll have a good time if you're interested in that. The news and notes of the day, Duke. How about Patty Kane? He's back, baby, with the Chicago Blackhawks. 2 years, $8 million per year. Fair for him. They've got some money to spend. I like your guys' discussion about the captaincy and potentially going his way. I like Bedard getting it. I think that would make sense after he re-upped for another 5 years. And then Jet Greaves as well, right? Joining Columbus, 5-year or AAV. 5 million.
3 by 5, 3 by 5 for 15 mil total.
I think that's win-win. You don't want to do the arbitration process. It can get kind of nasty.
And they was down to minutes before heading into the room, essentially, when they get this hammered out, because it was coming up hot and fast. I just don't understand why any team. I mean, I guess it's less for the team. The player has to sit there and face it, like the team that drafted them, developed them more often than not, or acquired them and whatever facet. You sit there and just hear them tell you why you're not a good player and don't deserve very much money. And from the team perspective, why you wouldn't want to do it is because, like, well, we want to keep this guy in the fold. We get to this point, it's coming down to a one or 2 year deal, right? Is how arbitration works. And then after that, man, after you roast them over the open coals, the chances of them sticking with you, I think, would probably go down pretty dramatically.
It'd be awkward. It'd be awkward. And then you walk past those guys in the hallways all the time, right? It's something. Text line is 1-833-401-1440 for those of you who don't know it. I didn't mention it. You can also email us, Connor, Brandon, and Josh at sports1440.ca. You guys want to get into 3 rounds?
I like 3 rounds.
Let's do it.
Want to ring the bell? All right. Ding, ding. Round 1.
Ding, ding.
All right. Number 1. What was a bigger award snub? Mike Trout in 2012 losing the AL MVP, or Adrian Peterson losing the Heisman in 2004?
Do I get to kick things off today?
Yeah.
Is that the way we're doing this?
Go nuts.
Okay. I will go nuts. Now, there might be some sport bias here. Adrian Peterson is one of the best college football players we've ever seen. This guy at Oklahoma was an absolute monster. Obviously, that did go into the NFL, where he continued to be an absolute monster. But going back to 2004, and I will say, that was like the height of USC. Matt Leinart, all the things that he did was playing outstanding. Reggie Bush on that team as well. Some might have looked at that as a kind of a detractor. And I think it should have been. He put up huge numbers because of the help from what Reggie Bush was able to do. They had other players on the team, but Adrian Peterson, true freshman, just under 2,000 yards, 15 touchdowns. This guy was an absolute animal when he was playing at Oklahoma. So I think I'm going to lean that route. He went in with all the high expectations. Matt Leinart kind of cleaned up with the first place votes. He also had more second place votes than Adrian Peterson. And a lot of people had AP with the third place votes. And I think Jason White, his quarterback, finished third in Heisman voting. But he was absolutely unbelievable. He was also a finalist for the Doak Walker. And I believe after the season, he even had to have shoulder surgery. Like he went through it for this team. It was a conference leading. He also led the nation in carries with 339. He rushed in each 9 of games of this season. He rushed for more than 100 yards, a freshman record. He went for 225 against Texas in the Red River Showdown. He was robbed. And I think there was definitely some people didn't want him as a freshman to win the award, but also USC was kind of the golden boys of college football back then. And I was loving it when Texas beat them. But I'm going to say Adrian Peterson was the bigger snub.
Very good argument. And if I was first, probably the side of this that I would have taken. But that's not to say that there's not value in the other half here, which is Mike Trout not winning MVP in 2012, a season in which he was the unanimous rookie of the year in the American League. Like Miguel Cabrera, Triple Crown. What he accomplished that year, just tremendous. But let's look at what Mike Trout accomplished. He became the first player in MLB history to do this combination: 30 home runs, steal 45 bases, and score 125 runs all in one season. 10.5 wins above replacement in a rookie campaign for a player in a market that often overshadowed, we know continues to be, not just by the Dodgers, but by the general, baseball in California when you mix in the Giants and frankly, even the Athletics for a long time, which technically they still play in Cali, but we know we're headed to Vegas. So by definition, we talk about most valuable player, like Cabrera, Triple Crown, awesome. But Trout on the Angels, like he was their most valuable player. And when you look at what he meant to the team, like without him, what are they? And I think they were a terrible team. They made the playoffs that year, right, Josh? It was the last time they did?
Unfortunately not. They went 89-73 and finished third in the AL West.
Oh.
The Tigers went 88-74 and finished first in the AL Central, losing in the World Series to the San Francisco Giants.
There it is.
So if you want to talk about, do you have to make the playoffs to an MVP? That's a common discussion we have in the NHL on the Hart Trophy. I'm a believer in it. And I don't think the same thing can necessarily applies to other awards. So was Trout robbed of it? The final vote wasn't actually very close. Cabrera got 22 of the 28 first place votes. But I think when we look back on this, it was more so the new age versus old age of traditional numbers and slash lines. Like Cabrera's was unbelievable, Triple Crown. Whereas Trout, what he meant to the team and digging into the numbers and how much he meant, obviously the WAR playing a probably crowning jewel in that argument. I mean, Matt Leinart was the quarterback of the number one team in the country, wire to wire.
Yeah.
Right. I think he was very, very deserving of the Heisman. Peterson probably as a true freshman, absolutely too. But I think if we're picking hairs, Trout had a better case for MVP than Peterson had for Heisman compared to their opponents.
It's kind of funny because I feel like both these guys kind of faced a little bit of like voters like, yeah, you're still a young buck. I don't know if I want to necessarily give that one to you. In college football, it's not always, but a lot of the times you're still looking at the quarterback as the Heisman winner, similar to the MVP.
Right
and the
or wrong,
MLB
it's
winners.
just how it is.
So there's a lot going against Adrian Peterson in that year, but he was unbelievable. Like, and even a couple years later when they played Boise State in that unbelievable Fiesta Bowl, I want to say, and Boise State was like, yeah, we got this game to overtime. We're going for 2. We're not even going to give Adrian Peterson a chance because it was his first carry of overtime the previous series. He took it to the house. Like he was just so good, not only as a college football player, went on to do it as a pro, one of the best running backs of all time, and never got his Heisman. It was Leinart, followed by Reggie Bush, and then Troy Smith of the Ohio State. I'm trying to think last running back to win the Heisman. How long ago would it have been? Derrick Henry, 2015.
All right.
Tough to do.
Round 2.
All right. Number 2. Would you rather have the 85 Bears defense or the 2000s Ravens defense?
Who?
Both.
Yeah, both. This is tough because I didn't get to see either play in real time. The Ravens are much more recent, and obviously, them kind of, I'll take the Ravens for one reason. They took Trent Dilfer to a Super Bowl. The Bears, like the 85, like they live in infamy. Not even infamy, just they're famous. Like they are iconic with what you talk about as a reference to best defenses of all time. But the Ravens D in 2000, take the way they just dominated on a down-to-down basis and took a team that was good on offense. But as I said, like people say Trent Dilfer is the worst quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl, starting quarterback. I think there's a lot of validity to that argument. And as a result, how can you not want the defense that pulled him to that point to be the one you're selecting here? And also the modernization of the game, how things have changed. They're much closer to it right now. Only 25 years removed as opposed to, what are we talking, 45? So I'll take the Bears, or the Ravens, excuse me, over the Bears.
Yeah, and that was a good argument because just how much the passing game was modified in that time frame. The 85 Bears, Jim McMahon. I'm just looking here. What statistically did he do? He threw 15 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, but you also had Sweetness, Walter Payton in the backfield.
Is he good?
That's pretty good. I'll go with those 85 Bears. I mean, hey, you got the Super Bowl shuffle that came from that, which is pretty sweet. 4 Hall of Famers, Singletary, McMichael, and then Hampton and Richard Dent, the 46 defense. The Bears allowed 0 points in the NFC divisional round and conference championship game. And then in the Super Bowl, they win 46-10. They only give up 10 points. So in 3 games against the best teams in the NFL, they allowed 10 points. That's stepping up when it matters. For me, I would go with the Chicago Bears, the monsters of the Midway.
Cool nickname.
Very cool nickname. But yeah, that's the route I would go. But man, I did get a chance to see that Ravens defense. And that was a young Ray Lewis. Ed Reed wasn't there yet, but you had Rod Woodson, Sam Adams. So they had some pieces there. I think that was the next year that they bring in Shannon Sharp. And on Hard Knocks. I don't know if that was that year or the year before, but it was phenomenal. But yeah, give me the Bears.
So Here's just some stats because I had a chance to pull them up here while you were defending your side. So I wanted to double check it because I didn't want to say it without confirming. Lowest points allowed in a 16-game season, 165. That's 10.3 points against per game were the Ravens in 2000. 2.7 yards per carry is what they gave up, and they allowed one offensive touchdown throughout the entire playoff run. It is like that is
like the Bears.
Dominant.
Yeah.
So dominant. So both great options. And listen, Ray Lewis, maybe not a great guy, scary as hell out on the football field and maybe off the field too.
You could say became a great guy afterwards.
I think that's fair.
The wild thing is they had all those great pieces, and then 2 years later, the league let them select Ed Reed.
He's like, they can't keep getting away with this.
Yeah, like, come on, guys. We got to be
Texans
better.
legend, Ed Reed.
Texans legend.
Spent
Ed
a year
Reed.
at the half a year? Split it between them and the Jets, I believe.
Right.
Ugh, it happens.
Final round.
All right, third and final round of the day. What's the more iconic call? The 2013 Ray Allen 3 in the finals against the Spurs, or the Steph Curry double bang against Oklahoma City in 2016?
Do we have the audio for these?
Let me grab them.
I can recreate it for you.
No.
I want Josh's impression.
I honestly, there's one really like standout thing when watching basketball, and it is the bang. Now, when you get a double bang, to me,
It was the first double bang ever.
it's 2 times the fun. It's 2 times the epicness. It is, to me, almost one of the best calls you can have. There's other great things. A French-Canadian goal call in hockey is fantastic. Jack Michael's overtime winner. Pleasure's all ours. Those are great. Man, there's a lot. A European or Spanish soccer goal is fantastic, but the double bang, when it pops off, it's something dreams are made of. So I don't know if you have it. Dude.
I got the double bang right here. And then of course. I lied. I don't have it.
It's just a full mixtape.
That's just a full mixtape. Let's try this one instead.
Won't go. Rebound taken by Iguodala. They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry! With 0.6 of a second remaining. The brilliant shooting of Stephen Curry continues.
Even to call him Stephen.
He went legal name on him, government name.
That's it. Now, I don't know if you want to rebound with the Ray Allen call, but
I'll go with the Ray Allen call. This was probably for me. It actually holds a very important time for I was in high school, did not give a lick about basketball whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Like NBA, played at the gym at lunchtime. I was like, this sport sucks. Hockey all the way. I watched this in real time. This game, the whole series, to be honest with you. And then this moment, Spurs on the brink of clinching, and Ray Allen knocks us down after James misses it. Like, I was stunned. I thought this was one of the best things I've ever seen in my life after having probably never watched a full basketball game prior to this series.
Should the Spurs foul? Should Miami go for the 3 right away? Just attack the basket. James catches, puts up a 3. Won't go. Rebound box. Back out to Allen. His 3-pointer. Bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining.
Does it matter more that Curry put them up?
yes,
As opposed to the tie? But the argument, the question isn't the shot. It's the call. Because Curry, just the calmness, the pull up from where he did is insane. And Allen, it's like defenders right in his face, the panic, the frantic nature of it. It's so hard to choose, but it's almost just purely personal. The fact that I watched this and it helped me kind of fall in love with the game of basketball and watching the NBA. I think it's an easy one for me. The double bang's sick though, but we've heard lots of double bangs since.
This is correct.
Will he ever triple bang?
Well, so you could hear him start to say the triple bang when Jalen Brunson shot, and then he misses OG Anunoby, hand of OG.
Right.
But yeah, Anyways, just while I have the mic on for a second here, again, you guys can email me some suggestions. Josh@sports1440.ca. If you want to hear him debate something, email me and you'll get thrown in.
It will happen. Eventually. Duke and I can tell you all about it. It gets tough to create 5 questions every day. Josh is going to get there too. So if you've got any you'd like him to throw out there, Josh@sports1440.ca. MTR says Ray Allen saving LeBron's legacy. Yeah, that made it 2 straight for the Miami Heat. Brett from Stoney says it's got to be Steph. Heck yeah. I think there was another one about Steph. He gets goosebumps from it. And I definitely have a soft spot for Steph Curry. So 2 great calls, great questions once again, Josh. That was 3 rounds here on The Frenzy. We're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll continue our NFL preview as we'll head out to Buffalo, talk a little bit about the Bills with Catherine Fitzgerald. It is The Frenzy, brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
Beer League Slow Pitch. It's an Alberta summer tradition.
I got shortstop. I'll take pitcher. Yeah, I'm just here for the dugout snacks.
When you're playing on the field, you need serious fuel. And there's only one MVP. Wilhauk Beef Jerky. Load up on Alberta's best beef jerky and hit a home run with the team. It's the perfect snack for your summer sports.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Thinking of growing your business? In partnership with Prairie's Can, the Alberta Chambers of Commerce is helping businesses explore new opportunities, new markets, and build connections through organized trade missions across Canada. Find the right mission for you at abchamber.ca/trade missions.
Founded by a former pro motorsports competitor, Evolve Wheels and Tires brings decades of experience in custom wheels, lowering kits, lift kits, and accessories. Visit Evolve Wheels and Tires in West Edmonton, Edmonton's premium wheel specialists. Evolve your ride. Evolve your experience.
From the first pitch to the final out, catch Toronto Blue Jays baseball games live right here. Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Sports 1440 is proud to be the home of Blue Jays baseball.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus all. T's and C's apply.
It might have been scraped by the snowblower, dented while door crashing, or crunched at the company Christmas party. At some point over the winter, your car was damaged and it's been hiding under a coat of winter grime.
Then come and see Robertson Body Works. We can take care of the damage and the dirt. This week only, call and book a repair and get a complete auto detailing absolutely free.
But you have to book your appointment before the week is up. Go to robertsonbodyworks.com.
I'm Tim Robertson, and I fix cars.
Quick opinions and fun times. The Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440. Presented by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
$11:23. Welcome back. It is The Frenzy here on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Check them out online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com or in person in Leduc. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick with you here at the Sports 1440 studios in West Edmonton Mall. Appreciate you joining us here. However you might be doing so on the AM dial, streaming, maybe you're watching on YouTube at Sports 1440 AM. It is appreciated. This segment is for elksnation.ca. Of course, you got the 2 weekly podcasts with Eddie Steele and Declan Kruger, but articles, you got giveaways and more. Check them out online, elksnation.ca. And of course, it is game day. Elks and Riders tonight, kickoff 7 o'clock from Regina. If you want to come and watch the game, I'll be down at First Round downtown location. We continue our look around the NFL. We are going alphabetical, and we're going to another team that will have a new head coach, but a little bit different. A coach who's very familiar with the city, the roster, and all that sort of thing. We're heading to Buffalo to talk some Bills with Catherine Fitzgerald, who covers the team for the Buffalo News. Catherine, good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm great. Thank y'all for having me on.
Yeah, we appreciate you doing this. My first question for you, have you got a chance to get out to Highmark Stadium? It's opening up this year, replacing the Ralph. And if so, what are your thoughts on it?
I was there for the ribbon cutting ceremony, so it was 99.9% done when I was there, and it is incredible. Just being on the field, looking at what it'll be like for the fan experience. The concourse is so much more open. There's really cool local artwork that I love. So I think there's just so many touches to make it a stadium that is truly for Buffalo. And, seeing the construction over the years across from the other stadium has been an incredible process to watch.
Going back, looking at the Ralph, do you have a favorite moment that stands out?
Oh, man. Some of the snow games there, I would say. That Josh Allen touchdown against the 49ers was just crazy from even our vantage point in the press box. But I just remember there were some years where, the game ends, we go down to the locker room and we come back up to write. And that's when it really started snowing after our Dolphins game one time. So when we went to leave, our cars were just completely covered, which was not super fun at, 2 a.m. after a night game. And it was just crazy to see how much it snowed post-game.
Highmark is going to be partially covered, like for the people in the upper deck. Will they be partly covered?
Yes, there is a canopy that covers a certain percentage of the stadium. The numbers changed a few times, so there is some coverage, but there will still be snow getting into the field.
I love that. I just saw the news with the Kansas City mock-up, and they have the roof, which is, great. They can host a Super Bowl, but there's something about those outdoor games with the snow that's special. So I'm glad the Bills maintaining that going forward here. The new coaching staff set up here, obviously changes were needed in Buffalo. More kind of a shakeup here as the team did retain Joe Brady, formerly the offensive coordinator. I know camp hasn't really gotten started yet, but have you noticed any differences with OTAs and just hearing Joe Brady speak as now the head coach?
Yeah, you're getting to see him put his fingerprints on the entire team a little more. It's been interesting. He obviously has that offensive background, but he's been spending so much time with the defense, getting more time in those meetings. That made his hiring of his OC, Pete Carmichael, really important. Joe Brady's still going to call the plays for the offense, but he wanted someone that he could trust while he is spending time in the defensive meeting rooms. But even just from a overall team standpoint, I think things are a little looser. Brady's very energetic. He's young, and I think it just has the team in good spirits at this point.
Catherine Fitzgerald from the Buffalo News covering the Bills, our guest here on the Frenzy on Sports 1440. Now, Catherine, you talk about spending a little bit more time for Joe Brady on the defensive side. Clearly an area of emphasis for this team. They use their top 2 picks in the draft, getting TJ Parker, the edge rusher out of Clemson, and then shoring up the secondary with Davidson Igbonis and 2 out of the Ohio State. So what do you make of this Bills defense to start? Because we know that Josh Allen and everything he's capable of can keep them in almost any game. But at times it seems like this Bills defense has not lived up to expectations and, trying different players, different combinations. But what are your thoughts heading into this season on the group on the backside?
I would agree that there was more to do on the defensive side of the ball. I think it's so interesting what we're going to eventually see with Jim Leonard, their new defensive coordinator. He's switching up schematically a bit, going to a 3-4 defense. But I don't expect to see much of that we can glean from camp in the preseason. I think they'll keep things pretty under wraps until the regular season. But just looking at some of the personnel they brought in, I like the Bradley Chubb move. He and TJ Parker, who you mentioned, were training together this off season. So you have that veteran and that rookie who are both new to the team, but already spending time together down in Florida just to practice more and more. So I think there's good camaraderie on this defense, but they also got some playmakers. You look at the guys who were on the defense last year, still free agents who are still unsigned. I think that's a testament to, they were playing with guys who didn't have quite as much left in the tank.
Mm-hmm.
So, you just look around the league and Joey Bosa is close to retiring, Matt Milano unsigned, Tre'Davious White unsigned. They wanted some fresh faces here, and I think that'll help give some juice to this defense.
And obviously the offense is still the bread and butter of this team because of, once again, Josh Allen. And I've long been pretty skeptical of the wide receiver group that they've tried to deploy. And, since moving on from Steph Diggs, and they fill a pretty obvious need in bringing in DJ Moore, who is not an old player by any stretch, but has been around a long time. So he's a veteran, number one guy. And despite not holding that role in Chicago, do you think he can return to the de facto number one status that we've seen him at in the past?
I think so. I think he has been pretty honest about his building rapport with Josh Allen, where he said early on there were some growing pains, but that was in May.
Mm-hmm.
That's the time of year you want that, to work through it early, to get to training camp and the regular season and have things kind of in lockstep. I'm working on a bigger profile on DJ Moore actually for our training camp preview, and was talking to some of his coaches from like even high school and little league, and they were saying how he hasn't been with a winning team. Last year in Chicago was the first time in years, going back to college. So to get him with quarterback stability, to finally have a quarterback that can make some of these plays and do it consistently and have DJ with the team for that stretch, I think is going to make a huge difference.
Catherine Fitzgerald of the Buffalo News joining us here on The Frenzy, taking a look at the Buffalo Bills. Give her a follow on X as well at KFitz134. Catherine, one of the guys who I just feel like gets slept on around the league is James Cook. He's last year led the league in rushing at 12 touchdowns. The year before, I think he had 16. I mean, fantasy football players will know for sure, but he's averaged 5 yards per carry his entire career. I remember LaDainian Tomlinson talking about how that was a goal of his for a year to average over 5 yards per carry. James Cook has done it over a span of 4 seasons. Do you think he gets enough credit around the league?
Oh, that's a fun question because I think he is starting to get the credit he deserves. I think it's also a testament to the offense as a whole, though. Your O-line's not always going to get the credit it deserves for any plays like that. But I think Cook himself is kind of turning that page of people are recognizing, your average fan is knowing who James Cook is and that he's just a weapon on the field. I think part of it, he is such a quiet personality that, he does some local commercials in Buffalo and stuff, but he's not one really out there. But his play is speaking for itself. And I think that will continue this year, even though his usage was so high last year.
I just want to ask you one more about Josh Allen because, for me, he's QB1 in the entire league. He was the MVP in 2024. But I thought at times last year, especially in that playoff games against the Broncos, and there was a turnover just before half, where it almost felt like maybe he's trying just to do a little bit too much. Have you noticed that at all? And, what do you think we're looking to see with Josh Allen this year? Do you expect him to, continue to do what he's done through the air, but also on the ground?
I think that, starting with the turnovers is something he has worked so hard to correct, but it does still flash at points, like in that playoff game. Every offseason, he kind of takes something that he wants to really focus on. And a year ago, it was that turnover margin, and he really was able to do things to track down on it. Some of it is that mental game, wanting to play hero ball. But I think he's gotten so much better at, let me go through my progressions, let me know where guys are. Let me not rush this because I need my longevity as a player too. So I think you'll still see him both on the air and in the ground, but a little, I don't want to say tapered back because I think that implies he won't be as explosive, but a little more thoughtful about it perhaps.
Talking all things Buffalo Bills with Catherine Fitzgerald from the Buffalo News in Western New York. So, Catherine, at the end of last season, we saw some pretty emotional responses from players on this team. Josh Allen saying he felt like he let his teammates down. Then Dion Dawkins getting, pretty worked up about backing up his quarterback, saying, that's never really the case. And then it all kind of comes to a fall with Sean McDermott losing his job. Is there any sort of extra emotional investment from this team where they have come so close a couple different times, but ultimately fallen short of not just their ultimate goal, but even just getting to a Super Bowl? Like, it's crazy to say because every team wants to win every year. But is there a little bit extra now where you almost feel like that's on the weight, that weight is on their shoulders with their head coach losing his job?
Oh, absolutely. I think you spin it forward. There's so much pressure on Joe Brady as a first-year head coach to get this team over the hump as quickly as he can. But you just look back at that, I would say maybe the most emotional locker room I've been in after a loss. And just, guys knowing the chance that they had in front of them. And then you look at the history of this team, you go back to the 90s and just what this franchise means to the city. I think players are so hungry to finally bring that Super Bowl home that you have to be careful balancing that. You don't want to, let the emotions get in the way of game day when there's such high stakes. But I think they're doing a good job of walking that line of using it as motivation, but not letting it derail them.
So, Catherine, training camp going to get going officially on the 28th of July with the vets reporting. The rookies already there at St. John Fisher University in Rochester. Any camp battles you're looking forward to tuning into?
Ooh, maybe not the spiciest, but the left guard battle between Alec Anderson and Austin Corbett, I think will be really interesting. We were there for OTAs and all, but guys don't have pads on yet. It's so hard to look at the offensive line there. And then I'm interested to see what happens at linebacker. Dorian Williams was kind of slated to get into that starting role opposite Terrell Bernard, but he's been dealing with injuries. Missed pretty much all the spring, June football on crutches. So I think, is he able to get back in time to secure that starting role, or does it go to another guy depth-wise in the linebacker room? So those are the two I've got my eye on. And there is a punter battle too, so we'll be keeping close tabs on that.
That matters. The punter does matter. If you get a guy who can flip the field, obviously we know how much that can change things. Just last question for you. I will say this. I've been an NFL fan for a long time, so I do have kind of a anti-Patriot mindset built in. I thought last year their schedule helped them. I didn't think they were as good as they were. Then they marched to the playoffs, and then, we saw the Super Bowl. I want to ask you this, though. How do you think the Patriots bounce back this year, a divisional rival, and who do you think wins the division ultimately?
That's a great question. I think it is still the Bills for the taking this year. I kind of have those trust issues with the Patriots as well, where they surprised me last year, and I'm curious if they can keep up that caliber of play. So I think it swings Buffalo this year, but I think it'll be, spicier than some of the past years where it was set from the start almost, it felt.
Well, Catherine, it's going to be an amazing season. Enjoy the new stadium and camp, and hopefully we can get you on again during the regular season.
Of course. Thank you guys so much, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You as well. That is Catherine Fitzgerald, covers the Buffalo Bills for the Buffalo News on X at KFitz134. I'm kind of disappointed, Duke, that I didn't get a chance to go out to Buffalo and see a game at the old stadium. To be honest with you, the new one looks great. I'm looking it up here. It's going to be fantastic for sure. And I know the shenanigans will continue in the tailgating, but kind of a regret for me.
Yeah, put me in that camp. I've yet to be to an NFL game, and I think getting the chance to. And we make so many jokes, but like to go to Lambeau is like, well, if I'm going to go to see the historic stadium, I'll go to a September game or an August or early October game, right, to get the full feel of fall in Wisconsin. I'm not necessarily interested in the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. There's something different about Buffalo where you almost want to go where you get some lake weather, some lake effect, and a big snowstorm rolls in. And I'm not saying to the effect where you got 10,000 fans and they're shoveling out the stadium just so they can play on Sunday or anything, but to have that snow globe effect and see it because it's so iconic. And you touched on with Catherine, I couldn't agree more about, I still want to see teams play outside. Like, that is what makes it unique. If everybody's played in the same environment, despite what Kurt Warner has said that he wants the players deciding the game, not the weather, I like a little bit of variance and things that can change, and it's not going to be the same all the time. So kudos to the Bills for making some changes to the design where it will help limit the effect of, say, the wind at times, but it's still outside, in my opinion, the way football should be played.
Yeah, and I like, hey, if I'm going to a game in Buffalo and it snows, why don't I just volunteer? I'll go shovel. Why not wear my Chargers jersey and just be shoveling the stadium?
And another reason why, now it's just shifted to I want to go to a game at the new stadium. New stadium, always really cool to check out. But I love chicken wings. I love buffalo wings. I need to have buffalo wings in Buffalo.
Bucket list.
Now,
we talked about Kansas City briefly there. Talked about it yesterday a little bit. Do you I don't know how much the advantage weighs in, but for Kansas City playing at home, being in the cold, those late November, December games, even January, I'll tell you, that was a thing that popped up for Chargers media. It plays an impact because you're in the cold. It's just one thing you're not used to. It's a bit of an advantage. Kansas City going away from that. With that being said, good business decision. I'm sure their players will love it if this new stadium goes through, the $3 billion stadium. Plus, you can host Super Bowls. So it makes sense. But I'm kind of curious about that. You're kind of going away from an advantage that you do have, being a little more equipped. Those cold weather games, maybe you practice outside to get used to it. You're not thinking about the cold weather. When you're from Vegas, LA, Carolina, Houston, and you go play in that cold weather, I think it is just a little bit of an advantage. Not a huge one, but it's something to think about. And the Chiefs going away from it. So if it happens, it's a beautiful little mock-up they did. It kind of looks like the Saddle Dome, like the roof. It's like Arrowhead, but they have kind of the dip in it. So go check it out. You can find it on the internet very quickly. We'll take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll get to more of your text, let you know what's coming up on the Lowdown and the Jason Greger Show. It is The Frenzy here on Sports 1440, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and Twitch, brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
50, 50, 50. Right now at Papa John's, you order carry out, you get 50% off the pizza, loaded with the toppings you love. You want pepperoni? You got it. You want the works? Done. Always made with our fresh, never frozen dough. Half the price for the pizza you already love. When you come grab it, just use promo code CO50. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. 50% off regular menu price pizzas. Carry out only. Use promo code CO50. Participating locations, restrictions may apply.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Cantork has turned 25. That's right, 25 years of building tools so good, they practically torque themselves. Hard work and innovation equals problem solved. See our latest designs at cantork.com.
Summit Restaurant, located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Cheers. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
Caesars is Alberta's anytime, anywhere sportsbook. Stay in the action with your favorite teams and players. Whether you're camping, kayaking, or catching a show this summer, bet wherever you are, whenever you want. Plus, Caesars Sportsbook offers fast payouts and flex parlays, a new way to keep your bet alive even if a pick misses. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today.
Must be 18 or older and physically present in Alberta to gamble. Must be 21 or older to use Caesars Sportsbook. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. Please play responsibly.
Want to invest in Alberta's workforce, fill your talent pipeline, and get funding? Careers, the next generation connects employers with motivated, pre-vetted youth through funded internships. Easy, impactful, and risk-free.
When you work with a group like Careers who have experience in that area, they can demystify and navigate all the complex steps and stakeholders that have to be involved.
Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
Does your bank do local? We do. When you bank with Vision Credit Union, you're banking with a rural Albertan cooperative that cares about the community where you live. There's no question. We actively support our rural communities at the local level through charitable donations, volunteerism, local team and event sponsorships, and by returning millions in profit shares to our members every year. Does your bank do that? We do local. Bank with Vision Credit Union. VisionCU.ca.
Because 60 minutes is just about enough. The Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440. Presented by Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
That was a very accurate intro. 60 minutes, yeah, it's probably enough. We wanted longer, but 60 was decided to be a pretty good time frame. For the Frenzy, Halley Douglas, Josh Fenwick with you here. Sports 1440, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, Twitch. You can stream us, tune in. We're everywhere. iHeartRadio, sports1440.ca. Appreciate you guys listening to the show today. Text us, 1-833-401-1440. As always, brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Before we let you know what's coming up next on the Lowdown with Lowtide and the Jason Gregor Show, Duke, you were out at a bit of a charitable event yesterday, playing a little futsal at the knee brace on.
I was braced up.
Shout out to those guys. Maybe drop a little info for those who don't know what you were attending.
Yeah, so it's the organization's called Alberta Dreams, and Chris Sheets, friend of the station, he was co-hosting with us on the morning show for a stretch last year before. I said this, I literally can't remember because time just all melts together. But Edmonton media legends. So he works for them, and it's essentially Make-A-Wish Foundation is their purpose. They want to try and make stuff happen for chronically or terminally ill kids, essentially, right? And so to make that things happen, they obviously need money. They do fundraisers. And so this is a 72-hour futsal game. Futsal is indoor soccer, if you're unfamiliar.
On a hard surface.
No
boards.
The nets are smaller. It's kind of cool. Like my description of it was like, there's no offside. It's essentially everything that when you're watching the World Cup and you say, here's how they could make soccer more exciting. It's futsal because there's no offsides, space is smaller, nets are smaller. It's fun and a big workout. Lots of running, unless you're me. So they're doing this. It's to set a world record. It's obviously going on overnight and all these things. So 72 straight hours. It wraps up this afternoon. It's at K-Days inside the Expo Center. You can't miss it if you head in and you need a little break from the heat where the air conditioning is inside the Expo Center. They got stuff there. Like you can just walk in, sign up and go play, take a shift if you want, which is great. You can make donations and stuff, which is the whole purpose of it. They're trying to raise $72,000 in total here for the 72-hour game. So it's a lot of fun. And I just stopped by. Connor, when I got there, I was like, oh, there's quite a few subs here right now. I'll put my brace on, get my sneakers on, put a penny on, and sit on the bench and be like, if they really need somebody to take the court, I will do so. Several times, like the ref and people on the team I was on, where they're like, you want to get in? I'm like, I will get in at the last possible moment. Like when there is no subs left on this bench and someone is ready to pass out, they need a drink of water. That is when I will come on. And it essentially got to that point. I did, in fact, take to the court, made a couple nice passes, get a few touches on the ball. I was hoping to get a brace with my brace. Not so much. I was more of a defender type.
Yeah.
Breaking up passes, good feet. And then I took a turn in net. I stopped the first shot I faced. Real good one, too. Just swallowed it up. No rebound. Right into the midsection, actually kind of stung me a bit. I don't think that's how you're supposed to make saves in soccer.
Well, you kept it out.
I kept it out. That was the important thing. And I thought I should just sub back out now. 1,000 save percentage. There was a very small child that had subbed in. And I mean, like, he's like 2.5 feet tall. I don't know how old he would have been. 5, maybe. I let him score. It was a good goal. Don't get me wrong. But I did not make an effort on it. And I thought that would get me some good karma. The complete opposite. They just poured past me at that point. I think I made one other save for the rest of the time I was in, and probably let in 4 or 5 goals. So great cause, fun effort. If you can go to, it's just like Alberta Dreams, just search that and it's the website. They got all the information there. Or Chris Sheets' social media pages. He's got it all up there as well. So anything you can do to help would be appreciated, whether that's making a donation, going down and playing, whatever the case. It wraps up this afternoon. So appreciate the little platform there, Cons, to go, because it's a great cause. And just the one kid who is a benefit of it was there. His name's Arlo. Mm-hmm. He's 6. He doesn't have the use of his legs, but he like fell in love with skateboarding. So he wants like a skateboard park built out at his place where they live out kind of by Stony Plain, I believe. And he like gets around on it with just like using his hands. Essentially, he like props himself up on the board and then uses his hand to kind of paddle himself around. It's incredibly impressive. He was playing in the game yesterday right as I was leaving. Made a couple big saves in the net. Really cool, really inspiring. And that's the type of kid that the Alberta Dreams is, helping with this effort.
Chris Sheets had the highlight reel for him.
Yeah.
The shoes on his hands.
Yeah.
And we reposted that on our social media as well. Arlo, shout out to you, man. You're awesome. And albertadreams.ca for those of you who might want to make the donation.
And they got all the info on the event and stuff too. Like I said, it's right inside the Expo Center. You can't miss it. So after I was done, I went out. I've never been to K-Days before, like as a patron.
Mm-hmm.
So I went out there, took a stroll through the midway and thought maybe there'll be some fair food here that inspires me to get a little snack before I head to slow pitch. Nothing did. It was all more of the same, deep fried this, deep fried that. And I thought, no, this isn't going to do it for me. I'll instead leave my stomach empty for the few beers I'm going to have during slow pitch.
I was going to say, fair food before activity might be risky.
I settled for a liquid supper instead.
That's good too. Coming up next, Lowdown with Low Tide. They'll be joined by Mr. Bagged Milk of Oilers Nation and Better Late Than Never. Of course, they'll talk about the Elks, get you set up for that one. Declan Kruger, co-host, of course, part of elksnation.ca. Patty Kane going back. The Jays, of course, continuing. So keep it up. Yeah, well, it is what it is. Following the Lowdown with Low Tide from 2 to 6, it's the Jason Greger Show with guest host Connor Halley.
Hey, that's you.
Please listen.
We got to keep the lights on.
My ego needs it. We'll be joined by Rob Vanstone, of course, longtime Rough Riders reporter. Stephen Bizan will be by from Sherbrooke Liquor. I don't wonder what we'll be sampling today. I got a long day. Maybe just something light to get the day going. Colin Livingston will be by. Special guest joining him in studio. Maybe two. Going to keep them in studio for a little bit longer. We'll do the round table. Jason Greger, of course, the host of the Jason Greger Show, will be by at 4:20. We'll get his thoughts on the Patty Kane deal. $8 million per year. Too much. Hometown deal. Talk about that.
It's the opposite of a hometown discount. It's like a homecoming bonus.
Yeah, a bribe.
I know you're thinking about going to Buffalo, but what if we offered you twice what they
Yeah,
are?
exactly. I'm doing it. Eddie Steele spec, Cam Tate's 2-minute warning. Keep it locked here on Sports 1440. We'll have some fun. And then today is Thursday. Jays play early today, right?
Yeah,
so
107.
We won't have
Won't have that on. Thank God.
Yeah, I mean, you guys get a break. You don't have to listen to the Blue Jays. Some text coming in here just regarding the Kansas City Chiefs. And, MTR says, hey, Mahomes in a warm, dry climate advantage. And that is very true. Robbie says you sell more merch and liquor when people are warm. Well, maybe Kansas City needs to reapproach their merchandise.
Is that true?
Selling blankets and sweaters and
I know that's what they do at Lambeau because I've seen it via people I follow on socials.
It makes sense.
That you go there and you're not prepared. You can go buy like a parka in the team store, a branded one, and then sell Baileys and coffee.
Yeah.
Or hot chocolate or whatever.
I thought people like to warm up with a drink.
Oh, and even if it's a cold beer, you need to get it in your belly to warm you up. Or you just buy maybe a little, can you at Lambeau or Chiefs Field, Arrowhead, don't know why that eluded me for a moment.
Well, Kansas City Stadium.
City Stadium, right. I still got World Cup on the brain. Can you go to one of the concessions and just buy an airplane bottle of Fireball? Like you can at some golf courses? Because when I golfed in BC at Predator Ridge, they got the little snack shack at the top of the one hole. And I was like, yeah, let's get some birdie juice shots for the boys here. And I thought they would just pour me a round of Fireball shots. No, I just had to pay $12 each for a airplane bottle of Fireball, 8 of them. And I was like, this was a huge mistake.
Should have brought my own.
I should have just brought my own. But I thought, hey, it's all part of the experience. We're out here on the mountainside. Yeah, no, that was an expensive day.
Would have been a good idea, though, to do that. I'm not sure. I will say, hey, in my younger days, went to a lot of Eskimos games, went to the games in October. A lot of them were Friday night, 7:30. I
chilly.
It didn't change my consumption, whether it was hot or cold. If I was going out drinking.
If it's cold, does that not make you want to get up and moving or get out of your seat, go down to the concourse, get moving a little bit to keep the blood flowing a little bit better to go to the concessions or whatever? Right? Is that a valid thought process? Instead of just hunkering down in your seat and be I'm not moving for the next 3 hours. You'll be an icicle.
Yeah. And I mean, what goes in must come out. You're going to go to the washroom a few times, heat up in there. Yeah, I don't know. I think either way, it was probably going to happen. Jays are unwatchable. Can't wait for the NFL from MTR.
Yeah,
it's true. It's very true. What went wrong? Was everything just going right last fall?
Both can be true. That last year, the Jays, like several guys' career seasons, George Springer turning back the clock, right? We saw it all. But this year, everything that's going, like everything that can go wrong is your $500 million player does not have a home run at their home stadium. Banging off the top of the wall last night, about as close as the guy's going to get.
But warning track the day before.
Right.
So
it's trending, but he like right now it's kind of seeming like in the can't buy one phase, whereas a week ago we're talking about like Guerrero just has no jam. He's got no juice.
Mm-hmm.
The defense has just been terrible. Like gold glove, platinum glove caliber defender Dalton Varsho has made errors in consecutive games. So uncharacteristic. Jimenez the other night, I've talked about it 100 times already, the one between his legs. Like and these are just the most recent examples. These are just things that the team did not do last year. They played, they were the gold glove finalist team. Couple individuals, Ty France, the deadline pickup, won the gold glove on first base. Guerrero was a finalist. It's disappointing. And yeah, MTR's right. They are approaching unbearable to watch.
Last year we praised Atkins.
Yeah, we're like, man, we were being too mean to this guy.
We're like eating crow, and now it's
fast
like,
forward a year, it's like, no, we were right all along.
That being said, I put a lot of this on the players too.
Your take's never wrong, Connor. It's just
yeah, well, and then it's right, and then it's wrong again, then it's right. It's all over the place with the Blue Jays. That music means we are done. Thank you guys for joining us on the show today. If you missed it, go watch the podcast or listen to the podcast. You can watch us on YouTube, of course. Sports 1440 AM. Remember to subscribe, give us a like. We really appreciate all that sort of thing. We'll do it again tomorrow. Try to head down to Carolina. The Duke will be off. Long weekend for him. Also, shout out to Catherine Fitzgerald for joining us, talking some Buffalo Bills. Up next, it is the Lowdown Flow Tide, followed by the Jason Gregor Show. But right now, one final Sports 1440 update with the Duke, brought to you by Cattail Crossing. 9 and Dine every Friday after 4 p.m. $130 for the pair. 9 holes with a cart and a $40 gift card to Out of Bounds Restaurant. You can book now at cattailcrossing.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Week 8 in the CFL kicking off tonight from Regina with the Edmonton Elks taking on the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Carter O'Donnell unable to go on another reshuffled Elks offensive line. Kickoff coming 7 o'clock from Mosaic Stadium. NHL offseason news earlier this morning. Chicago Blackhawks bringing back franchise icon Patrick Kane. 2-year deal with a cap hit of $8 million. Kane, the former first overall selection by the Hawks organization, winning 3 Stanley Cups with the team. Art Ross, Hart Trophy, Conn Smythe, and Ted Lindsay Award. Columbus Blue Jackets gets down to the wire, but they ink goaltender Jet Greaves to a 3-year, $15 million total deal just before their arbitration hearing for the RFA tender this morning. Greaves will be back with the team now. Second full season is the team's number 1. In the majors today, lighter slate. The Blue Jays wrap up their set against the Rays. 107 first pitch with Shane Bieber on the hill. Elsewhere, middle of the 6th right now, Braves leading the Padres 5-3. Scoreless between the Twins and Guardians in the top of the 4th, and still to come, D-backs in St. Louis, Tigers hosting the Royals. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is the Lowdown with Low Tide. I'm Brandon Douglas, Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray